Oh god, I just threw it. Hi everybody and welcome back to Playthings of the Gods. I'm sorry that I threw my fan. Hi, I'm LB Hackamup and welcome to the LB Hackamup channel. We're starting off on a really strong note tonight and I'm really excited for tonight's stream because we have a wonderful guest. But before we get to all that, before we get to introductions and all that fun stuff, I just want to remind you that today is, oh god, it's August 8th, 2021, and you are loved. We want to remind you guys of that every time we play because you are, and we like you, and we love you, and we want to make sure that you're happy. So we're just happy that you're here. We're back with episode 15 of Playthings of the Gods, our D&D homebrew-ish game. And yeah, we've got the wonderful cast tonight. We're going to go around and have everyone introduce themselves, and then we'll have our guest introduce himself as well, because you guys have seen them before, and you've seen the character before, but maybe some of the audience has not. So let's go around, starting with Savvy. Let us know who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Hello, I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. I mostly, except for the occasional off day, stream Thursdays through Sundays. You can find me most of the time on twitch.tv/game nights. That's game with 2 G's and nights with a K. I'm there most of the time, and then sometimes I am here, specifically tonight, playing Alhena, the Circle of the Stars druid, who is a centaur and has been struggling because there's been a lot of sitting lately. And she doesn't fit in most chairs, but that's okay. She's fine.
This is fine. Thank you very much. Next up is Tanya.
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm Tanya. You can find me at Tanya Rowland Places or my weird podcast, Spider Facts with Billy, wherever you get podcasts. And also, if you live near Kalamazoo, I signed up for a karaoke competition August 28th. I can't sing. It's going to be horrible, but I thought it would make me laugh. So you can find that at dormousetheater.com. But for now, I am Moxie. I am a tiefling bard, College of Glamour.
All right, so you're going to post that. You're going to link that when it's done, right?
Once I fully decide and commit, which I think I already have.
Yeah, I was going to say,
now,
you've said it on the internet, so it is a thing you have to do. Thank you very much. Next up is Miss Rachel.
Should I go to that and just like live stream it for everyone?
100%.
Yes.
Hello, hi, Rachel Elizabeth. You can find me here on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth. And tonight I'll be playing Talon, the Elven Ranger, and her trusty Bloodhawk sidekick is making sure the Furby doesn't murder me in the back. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Next up is Kelly.
Hello. I'm so going to that karaoke, Tanya. It's happening. Tonight I am playing Nazira, the Drow Rogue. I can't remember what I was doing today.
You're only in one game, Kelly.
I have a lot.
Okay. And our special guest for the evening, Val, aka the Kraken's Crown. What's up?
Hi, everyone. I'm Val. Like LV said, the Kraken's Crown. Excited to be back here. And you can find me also, like Savannah, over on our channel, Game Nights, where I stream Thursdays through Sundays, playing and/or running games. And tonight I'll be reprising my role as Matthias Loop.
The Bean.
Also Bean.
The Bean is back, guys. But before we get into that, we need a recap, and which is going to be done by our wonderful, as always, Miss Rachel. Take it away.
Hey, that's me. Previously on Playthings of the Gods, the shopping episode. The friends made it to Waterdeep and had some shopping to do, as well as look for information. Not knowing where their next tasks would take them and assuming it was the last major city they would hit for a while, Talon wanted to purchase a Fletcher's kit and a backup bowstring, so the first stop was Bronzeleaf Bowers. Moxie charmed the shop girl into a better price for Talon's purchases, and they left the store quickly after. Next, they needed to find Spirit and Spirits, the bar Alhena had seen her brother near in her dream. Talon stopped a friendly-looking orange-scaled dragonborn with a stack of books as he was walking and asked him where he could find the pub. He pointed them in the right direction, and they found it. They made their way in, and Moxie went to the bar, and she and Nazira ordered drinks from the bartender, a pink tiefling. They grabbed a table and surveyed the bar. There was a red-skinned gentleman who seemed to be keeping an eye on the room, and Talon spotted the resident ghost by a floating piece of chalk writing on the chalkboard by the bar. Cal, the pink tiefling, brought over the drinks Nazira had started. Sorry, I can read. I swear, guys. Brought over the drinks. Nazira started knocking back her shots. She realized she may have overestimated her ability to take down the specialty lemon shots and only managed 2 of the 3. While she struggled to keep those down, Alhina asked Cal about her brother. She said she'd seen him, but not recently, and gave them the name of a private detective they could talk to about locating her brother, Vincent Trench. Sorry, her brother's name's not Vincent Trench. The private investigator's name is not Vincent Trench. I should really read through these as I write them. Moxie walked up and started a conversation with Margarita, the person who appeared to be watching over the bar, asking if he'd seen a centaur recently. He said that there had been one in here a week ago and had been causing some trouble, speaking with some unsavory fellows that were not associated with the bar, and he had to escort them all out. I have a hair on my nose, so it's driving me crazy. Okay. Cats. Anyone who lives with cats understands. He'd been speaking with some unsavory fellows that were not associated with the bar, and he had to escort them all out. Talon Moxie knew he was lying, so Moxie tried to cast detect thoughts, which did not turn out well. Margarita, realizing what she had tried to do, angrily escorted them from the bar, but not before Alhina told him that he should be more careful with whom he speaks to like that. They decided to go check out the private investigator. They entered the Tiger's Eye, the cluttered office of Vincent Trench. He said he'd locate her brother for 100 gold a week plus expenses, and Talon was not having any of it. She negotiated with him, hiring him instead to spend 2 days finding information about Lahaina's brother, with whom he may have gotten involved. They wanted to be able to see what Alios had gotten himself into and then make their decision on how to proceed from there, rather than trust someone they didn't know. Trench assumed, based on what they'd told him, that he'd gotten involved with one of the gangs in Waterdeep, albeit unknowingly, which sounded still very unlikely to Alhina. Still, they tasked him with finding information, and he set off to do so. With that done, they headed to buy new armor, each finding a beautiful new set from some very talented blacksmiths. As they walked through Waterdeep, another shop caught their eye: the Blacktail, magical items and trinkets. They met the owners, a talking black cat named Snuggums and her companion, a loxodon called Doctor. They inquired about Alhaina's brother, and they said he'd come in looking for a telescope, but they hadn't had anything like it. They'd pointed him in the direction of the South Ward in a shop called Skippy's, where they may have been able to custom make him what he was looking for, and he told the companions the same. As they headed to the South Ward, they ran into Nazira's friend Alray, who told them he could find Nazira's friend Dabby at the Yawning Portal, a place that hosted an assortment of characters who may be able to find information, or who they may be able to find information from, as well as locate Nazira's contact. The group decided to split up. Nazira and Moxie going to the Yawning Portal to meet Dabby, while Alhina and Talon headed towards Skippy's to run down the lead on her brother. When they reached Skippy's, Alhina and Talon met the shopkeeper, a dragonborn. She was incredibly friendly and a good sport, as they bombarded her with questions. Through her, they learned that Alhina's brother had purchased a custom telescope from her for 200 gold, something Alhina knew he would not have the gold for. The shopkeeper told him he had borrowed the money from a very kind man. It seemed he had gotten involved with some unsavory characters, borrowed money from them, and then when Alios couldn't pay them back, they may have taken him. On a whim, Talon asked the shopkeeper if she'd heard of Elcor being there recently, and found that he'd gotten very drunk after doing a bunch of shows, and very drunk after one in particular, and no one had seen him since his show in front of the Great Drunkard. At this show, he'd been absolutely hammered and did not finish. They decided to go to the Yawning Portal to meet up with their friends, hoping to catch them before Nazira and Moxie concluded their business there. And when we last left our adventurers, Nazira and Moxie had made it to the Yawning Portal. The first thing they saw as they opened the doors was Nazira's friend Dabby standing on a table and shouting in triumph, celebrating an apparent win. And one of the people she was taunting stood up and punched her.
Thank you very much for that recap, and all of the wonderful recaps you do for us. We really appreciate it. But yeah, thank you, and everyone ready to get into it? Are we ready to jump in? All right. So as was stated, you see your friend standing up on the table, getting very excited about their seeming win, and you see the person across the table just deck her across the face, and she goes flying back and lands sort of in a barrel, like a section that just has a couple of barrels and bags of food in it. Is there something you would like to react to or do in this moment?
Nazira's gonna turn towards Moxie and be like, "Yeah, that's Dabby."
Should we do something or?
Yeah, let's go grab her. So
Okay.
we're gonna walk on over to Dabby. Is she unconscious?
The man at the table stands and leaves. He doesn't take the money that is on the table, but he seems to be upset. And Dabby, you guys, I described her last time, but I'll describe her again since it was at the end of the episode. She is a very pale-skinned gnome, very large ears, very pointy. Her hair is black and short, and it is just like, it's really straight, but it has a lot of volume to it as it kind of poofs back around her. She's wearing like pretty much standard adventuring gear with like a corset underneath her bust. But now she is sort of flopped back down on this in this pile of garbage, basically. And she just starts laughing as like the flour falls down on her, and she kind of pushes it out of the way. Is that Nasira, is that you?
Hey,
Oh.
Dabby.
Oh,
I see
good
you
punch.
are winning quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, he clocked me good, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Wouldn't be the first time you've been hit hard, though.
no, definitely not. Oh, all right, sorry. And she'll like stand up. She kind of like looks over at the table and starts moving that way. And she just kind of turns back. What are you doing in town?
Well, we're looking for someone.
Yeah?
Have you seen a blue centaur?
She like leans over and she's like, "There's one there." It's
Nazir
Alhina.
is
She
gonna like
points at
turn.
Alhina.
Oh wait, is Alhina and
Oh, they haven't
Talon
arrived
at the
yet. I'm
bar?
sorry. You're right.
No.
You're right. This is just.
I'm like, wait a second.
This is Moxie and Nazira. My bad.
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I'm not. I mean, I guess it's not unheard of that there would be. Why are you looking for one?
Yeah, one of my companions. It's her brother.
Oh,
We're just trying to find him.
well, are you looking to hire me on this, or what are you looking for?
What's your rate? I'm Moxie, by the way.
Nice to meet you. I'm Davi.
What kind of rate do you charge?
How about y'all just owe me a favor?
Depends on your favor.
Well, it depends on how hard it is to find them.
Touche.
I'm gonna need some ice for this. Why don't you
Yeah.
wait here? I'm gonna go get some ice and we can discuss it further, alright?
Are you gonna go grab your gold? Because you might want to grab that for some fucker grabs it.
She was leading you back to the table. She starts scooping it into a bag. The bar is pretty hopping right now. And as she kind of walks away, Matthias, you are walking into the yawning portal. It's been a day. You have a lot on your mind. You're trying to parse through what you're going to be doing over the next day or two. And as you look around the bar, you see some familiar faces. The bright purple hair of a purple tiefling, and sort of tucked in the shadows, your very pale old friend, Nazira.
I think just from across the bar without like closing the distance, just yelling across a sea of people and just, oh, hey, hi, over here. Hello.
A lot of people turn to look.
No, not you.
Oh shit, Nazira, that's Matthias.
Bean!
That's your boy. This is a good day for Nazira.
Starts pushing through the crowd towards them. Hey, what are y'all doing here?
We're looking for Alhena's brother. What are you doing here?
I just kind of ended up here. It's sort of a long story.
We got time.
Right. Well, so I was with the Giants. last time, and I left there. Found some really nice people who told me they were gonna help me get back south. They said they need to swing over to Waterdeep, so I kind of came along with them. And well, they weren't so nice. They I don't really know really much about them, um, but I think they were pretty bad folk. Kept talking about how much they were going to get from me. I don't really know what they meant by that, but yeah, they locked me in a cage, and but I was able to get out, obviously, because I'm here. Um, and then yeah, kind of some other stuff happened too, less important. I'm staying with these some nice people here in town, uh, helping helping me out, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
How about you stay with us? Because your track record, sweetie, with nice people is not good.
Well, no, I mean these. I mean they're
Nope,
pretty
nope, no. You're staying with us.
okay.
Okay.
Well, that's that's very nice of you, but I really can't say so. They're kind of important people, and I'm really afraid what happens if I don't come back later.
Who are they?
Well, the
Are you looking to get out of town? The Dobby, this small gnome character, comes back with a bag of ice on their face.
oh hi, I'm Matthias. I didn't meet
Dabby.
you before.
No.
Gabby,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Anyway, I'm staying at the Belladonnis family estate.
How'd you get hooked up with that? They're rich as fuck.
I kind of saved their eldest daughter child's life.
Oh.
Yeah, Laurel. She's very nice, maybe a bit too nice,
Yeah.
and so I'm just here to get a drink, kind of clear my head a bit.
Drinks sound good.
Yeah. Where's everybody else?
They are on their way.
Cool.
They were just at Skippy's.
Oh. Crazy brought that.
She's crazy?
It's just a little odd.
Okay.
Like the weird type, you know?
Oh, but the weird type have the most accurate information. You of all people know that, Dabby.
I mean, that's fair. I'm not saying she's not useful. I'm just saying that, you know, you don't want to talk to her for an extended period of time. If you're getting drinks, can you grab a couple for me as well? I just need to get
I'll
the
go
pain
grab
from my
some
head.
drinks.
Thanks, love.
Thanks, Moxie.
You're welcome.
Moxie, you go up to the bar. It is, again, it's, you know, mid-afternoon or late afternoon. It's fairly busy in here. People are coming in for dinner and such. There is a half-orc bartender who gets you the beverages you desire. And I think about that time, Elhina and Talon, you kind of make your way into the entrance of the bar.
So I grab the 4 drinks and I pass them out to everybody.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
Oh, there they are.
Waves over the crowd because she's 6'5".
I found a blue centaur.
Oh, that's nope, wrong one. We need a male version of that.
yeah,
Oh.
2 of them. We need another one.
Wait, am I playing matchmaker? You know, I'm not about that.
You know, I don't know about
They're brother and sister.
Yeah, they're brother and sister. I
See,
don't
I'm
really
not-
know
I
about their
don't-
whole social thing for that thing, but like, you know, just brother and sister. Yeah.
Right. You disgusted Savannah. Matthias, you see Talon, your old friend, and a blue centaur walking your way. Which actually you've met Elhina.
She was just
She was
very
there.
quiet the last
She
time.
was really quiet last time you saw her.
Oh, hi.
Oh, I'm Bias. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here. Hi. I heard I bumped into Nazira and Moxie. I didn't know you all were in town.
It's just next stop on our list of places to go.
Hi, I'm Dabby.
Oh, hi, Debbie. We've heard a lot about you from Nazira.
Debbie's gonna help us look for Alhena's brother if we owe her a favor.
That's 1, 2,
If
3,
we're
4.
willing to do that.
Or one large favor from all of you.
I mean, I'm very large, so I think my favors are also.
I like the way she thinks.
Well, I'm
I don't
always
mind
happy to
owing
help
somebody a
people out.
favor.
Right. Well, why don't you tell me more about what's going on? Do I just have a blue centaur to go off of?
Well, there aren't very many of them.
Right. Well, when was
but
the last time they were in town?
well, I think the last time anyone saw him, I think most recently was like a week ago.
Right.
He's been to a few shops nearby.
Mhm.
Which I'll list them
Mhm.
all off.
Mhm.
He was looking for a telescope. And may have borrowed some money
Oh,
from some people.
right. Okay. Well, I know some bookkeepers, so maybe I'll go do a little research after the next drink, and she like slides it to herself.
Yeah, we
Puts-
can't figure out whom he borrowed money from.
Apparently, there are a lot of gangs in this city.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we believe it was not the Zents
That's very
because
helpful.
we went
Actually,
to the
that
Spirit
cuts
and
down
Spirits.
like at least a third.
Yeah, we went to the Spirit and Spirits,
Mhm.
and he was escorted out because he was with people that are not affiliated with the Zents. We're assuming because that is a Zent bar.
Right.
And
Okay.
yeah, he was with other people that they were not welcome there, according to their daytime bodyguard person, Margarita.
Oh.
He's not
Oh,
very nice.
really?
He
Don't like
does
that guy.
does not like Moxie.
He dragged
No.
me out by the horns.
That's odd. He's really the nicest one there.
Well, I mean, I tried to read his mind, but like, so what?
Oh. Yeah. Most people
Billy
around
was
here don't take kindly to that. I wouldn't suggest doing that to anyone again.
Yeah. In her defense, he was
Okay.
lying to us about who he knew who Alhena's brother was with.
Yeah. You'll find around here a lot of people have loyalties and they kind of stick to them. It's hard to find information. I mean, not for me, but for most people, it's hard to find information to like, you have to be able be in good with everyone, be in good standing, not get on anyone's bad side. So that's how you get the best information. But I could start there.
Yeah. You should know we also hired Vincent Trench.
She like you can see her face visibly drop, and she's like, "Why?"
Because we didn't know you were here.
Oh. Well, I don't blame you then. But he'll probably get about as far as I do. How much of a head start does he have?
About 2 hours.
Ooh, she like quickly downs her drink, puts it down, and she's like, "All right, where are you staying?
We don't know yet.
You can stay here."
I think we're gonna go. Are we gonna stay at the circus again? Is that the plan to go back out or stay in town?
I think
Should
we're
probably
staying
stay in town.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could stay here.
It's fine.
Okay,
It's easy.
I'll find you back here. Ooh,
Okay.
Now it's a race. Okay.
It is a race.
Bye.
Yeah. No, I like it.
She zooms away.
Yeah,
Well, that's
moves.
cool.
I like her.
Yeah.
She's
me
very
too.
quick.
Mm-hmm.
So your
I like
brother's
that we
missing?
now have 2 people searching for information.
Technically 3 because we have Al Ray.
So Hannah, your brother went missing?
Yes. He was here, I guess, and then as of a couple of weeks ago, he was not.
That's sad. I'm sorry.
We'll find him.
I'm sure he's okay wherever he's at. I'll help you find him if you want me to. Though it
That
seems
would
like
be
you have a
very
lot of
nice.
help already. and I don't know if
Well,
I'd be much more help than them.
I don't know. Can you be?
Well, I don't know the city that well. I know parts of it, but not all of it. I've only been here for a few weeks.
Well, that's more weeks than me.
I could, I could ask some of the people I'm staying with if they know anything. Actually, if you're all looking for a place to stay, maybe you could come stay. Well, I can't. It's probably not good for me to invite you to stay at somebody else's house, is it?
Probably not, but you know him better than we do, I guess.
Well, I could go introduce you. Then I have to see Laurel again.
Who is Laurel?
She's
So
turning into a good friend.
yeah, so Laurel's very nice. They're the one of the noble of the Belladonnis family. They were they got into some trouble, and I kind of stumbled across them, and I helped them out, and kind of saved their life. And so I came back here, and they helped me. They gave me a place to stay, and they got really friendly with me, and then more friendly, and then they're not really leaving me alone very much, and they're wanting to spend a lot of time with me, and they keep talking about how much they like me, and I just don't really feel the same way.
Laurel's
But
trying to bang you. Is that what you're just trying to get at? Is that what you're trying to say?
I feel like it's a little more serious than that.
Oh, parents are trying to marry you
Oh, she's trying to marry you.
and bang
Yeah,
you.
maybe.
So, like I said earlier, I think you should stay with us because your track record with people, sweetie, just say it again, not the greatest.
He doesn't want to piss off the family though either. They're
Yeah.
pretty
I think
hardcore.
it's probably better for you to stay with them. But if it gets serious, we could totally smuggle you out of the city.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hell, we'll smuggle you out of the house.
We
That
like
would-
challenges.
That would actually be very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just leave with us when we go. You'll just disappear.
Okay. I mean, they've been very nice to me, and I'm kind of afraid of making them angry.
We could always say that we're hiring you to come with us.
Yeah, I'll
We
perform for them
request,
before
or
we go.
or that you're going to be working with Moxie's Circus from now on,
Yeah.
and you're going to leave when they leave. And it could be a legitimate thing. Paperwork and everything.
I can get paperwork. I'll even do
Okay.
a show for them first. I'll play some music for them, loosen them up, then we can give them the news.
Yeah, I mean, we can try that. That
Legal
sounds like-
shenanigans. We can do this.
Okay, and I'll help you find Alhaina's brother in return, and then we're even.
Yeah. Because I mean, do you
Perfect.
want to marry this girl?
No,
Okay. Yeah. Then
Okay.
we're going to get you out of this
no.
in a way that does not sully your reputation with the family in case you need them later.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be that would be best. Okay. It just like takes the drinks and starts downing the drink in front of him.
Hey, Talon, would Root possibly go back to the circus with a note so he can get some paperwork?
He's still with the circus,
Oh, that's right.
but I can probably establish like a mental bond. I don't know how he'd do like flying in a city. I think I can speak with animals. Do you have to see them to do that? I don't know. Is that a thing? I'm just talking out loud now.
Yeah, I think your connection is only
Good to a certain.
I think it's only like
point.
120 feet or something like
It
that.
probably is.
Yeah.
So yeah, never mind. I think
I'll
there's a
just-
spell that I was looking at for that.
I mean, what are we doing for the rest of the afternoon? Because I could just run over there.
We could
I'm
do
part
that.
horse, so
Yeah, you could talk to William and have him drop some paperwork, a contract to have Matthias explain to him that it's not binding, but we just need some proof. He won't ask questions. Just tell him I sent you. Is that okay? Or I could just write a contract, actually. We could go to a shop and I can get some paper and write it up. They've
Find
probably
a
heard of the
notary.
circus. Huh? Yeah,
And-
notary.
This week we go to a notary.
This week we find a lawyer.
But
It's
if
the
you need-
legal
if you need-
shenanigans version.
I mean, if we do need somebody to go back to the circus, I no offense, but I am so much faster when the rest of you are not with me.
Yeah. Not offended. That's fair.
Nope, not
You're
offended.
not wrong.
No, we'll just go to a shop for now, and I'll get some parchment, a roll of scroll, and I'll just write up a contract. And they've probably heard of the circus. And once they see me perform, yeah, we'll be all right.
Matthias, have you just tried telling Laurel like I have a girlfriend or something?
But I don't.
You could lie.
Zira could pretend to be your girlfriend.
I mean, that just seems kind of mean.
Meaner than saying
I'm
I'm-
Oh,
not
I'm
interested in you.
contractually obligated to leave you.
I'm lying to escape. Well, whatever you want to do, man. That's cool.
Whatever
I-
you're more
I-
comfortable with. This is
I
your
just
life.
thought that would be less stressful, but
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could have done that in the beginning. It just feels like I'm kind of far into this now
no.
to make that a
Yes.
point.
Fair enough.
I feel like that might make her more angry.
What's gonna happen if she gets angry? Just curious.
Well, she is part of one of the noble houses of Waterdeep, so I might end up back in a cage again, or I don't really know. But it did seem, I got the vibe that it wouldn't go well.
Uh-huh.
That's fair.
Well, you could just tell her like, I don't like you and I don't want to marry you.
If that's what you all think is the best idea, then I could definitely go try that.
And if we're all with you, we can help you deal with the consequences of that too, if you just want to be honest. Ultimately, it's up to you. Moxie pulls out her pan flute and just tries to play music so Matthias can relax and like clear his head a little bit while everybody else continues talking.
You also don't have to decide right this second.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was coming here tonight, to figure out what I was going to do about
Mhm.
this. And you know what? The fact that you're all here does really, I mean, this feels like the work of fate, and that you all kind of show up to help me again. So I don't know, maybe with you all helping out, that might, I feel better about going if I have other people there to help.
Well, why don't we drop the contract regardless as a backup plan? That way, in case you lose your nerve last minute in telling her and being honest, you can be like, hey, I have to leave with the circus because they need me for this. I was just hired by them. In case you lose your nerve in telling her, if you decide you want to tell her the truth, that you're just not that into her, you can do this instead. You have a backup plan.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Backup plan.
I'm a
Can I
planner.
have another drink? Thank you.
Me too.
Azir is gonna lean over to Tal and be like, he's gonna use the backup plan for sure.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, while you guys are all boozing up, I'm gonna run to a general store and go get some paper so I can write this thing up.
I might have some.
Check your inventories, people.
I know, I don't know that I do.
Does anyone have a calligrapher's kit?
No.
Well, you are more than welcome to go to a general store. There's one close.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run one close, get a pen and paper, and
It's called
sit out.
The
Quill and ink.
General. No,
Called what?
It's called the General.
I'm gonna go to the general. and get
Alright.
instruments for writing.
As you are leaving, Moxie, you kind of like you open the door and you see someone's like coming in like at the same time. So they look very fancy. They have like blonde hair that is sort of like very elaborately braided on the side, and it is like curled and like sculpted down very closely. On one side they have a bodice on and very nice like tight black like almost riding pants and boots kind of up to their knees that are very elaborately designed. They have like sort of those Victorian side poof panels on their jacket, and they kind of like look past you into the bar, and you see behind them are two looming figures, large, muscular beings, and they kind of like lean in and like regard you out of the side of their eye, giving you a nod, assuming that you're holding the door open for them, and they enter the bar.
The two figures enter the bar too, you said?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. I still leave
Mhm.
because I assume all my friends are going to notice them, but I'm going to
Mhm.
take note of anything around me as I leave.
Sure. This person starts looking around, and Matthias, will you give me a perception check, please?
Sure. That I'm gonna use D&D Beyond for everything now. That's a natural 20.
Ooh, okay. Before they see you across the bar, you lay eyes on your would-be betrothed. As they start looking around.
Matthias just drops to the ground behind the bar.
Are
or
you okay?
under a table.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine. That's them at the door.
Who?
Laird Belladonnis, Laurel.
Oh shit. She fancy.
They're very
Yeah.
hot.
It's
Very
fine.
fancy.
You're very small. Hide behind me. Alhena just turns like sideways. She's perpendicular to the door. Just like, yes. There's no one behind me.
She got a fat ass.
That she do. You see this.
I'm all for the honesty thing. I just think I need a little bit more time to get myself sort of worked up to that.
Yeah, we need the backup plan in check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Do you want me to cause a distraction so you guys can go out?
That would be great.
Okay, Nazira, come with me. You two-
Obviously.
yeah, you and Alhena, you'll know when to start.
I got this.
You go out the door. Okay.
You looks down at Matthias. Just get ready to hold on.
Okay.
I'm
Laurel
gonna
makes-
pull Alhena, like we're gonna like make our way like to the opposite side to draw everybody's eyes. And then I'm just gonna yell, like, just, hey, what are you doing? And just shove her.
Excuse me, what am I doing? What are you doing? I'm gonna shove her right back.
I think it's time
Okay.
for us to go.
You see the Laurel go. She
That
had
just cleans
walked.
up
Oh,
on the
you're
side,
muted.
ready to-
Oh, I mismuted. Hold on.
Don't
I got
mute it.
off. I got off with the muting on the different things. But you see that Laurel has made their way up to the bar, and they seem to be asking. But as soon as this altercation breaks out, you see the two other figures sort of bring in ranks around them, and are very closely watching the situation as they kind of like hide behind their bodyguards.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I thought you were somebody else.
Wait, who?
Nazira's
No,
terrible at
Nazira,
this.
just go with it.
Well, that still doesn't mean you can fucking shove me.
You shoved me back. Can we just be even?
You know what? I'm not in the mood for this. How about let's get some drinks?
Yeah, let's
talk it
just get a
through.
drink.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're civilized elves. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yes. Okay, drinks.
Ah,
Did they make it
I need
out?
a whiskey, please.
I'm gonna need Alhina and Matthias to roll a stealth check on this one, please.
Oh, jeepers creepers. Okay.
I assume you're very good at this as a centaur.
Extremely. I'm the fucking.
And Talon and I
sneakiest.
roll a perception check at the same time to make sure if we have to do a bigger
Like
distraction.
continue. Yes,
Yeah.
Alhina.
I've rolled an 18.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh no. Okay.
The dice
Okay.
gods giveth, they take
The
it
di-
away.
yeah. So,
Have you
Alhina,
done-
you are stealth. You've never been this quiet in your life. You are moving so well through this crowd that Matthias loses you, and
Damn it.
he is left sort of like standing hunched over, in the middle of the.
Do I
Middle.
realize he's gone at any point?
I think by the time you get to the door, you realize that Matthias is still back sort of midway through the bar. I didn't have to roll very high to beat
I do.
this
Actually, joking, half of my body is a horse. How do you lose me?
one. One of the bodyguards actually, Talon and Nazira, give me performance checks. I want to see how distracting this distraction is.
I got
A 9. Where's
Nice.
Moxie when we need her?
I know. I mean,
Doing
that fits.
paperwork.
That fits with what
That's
just
my job.
happened.
We might have to actually start punching each other.
You see Matthias, as you realize that Alhina is not next to you anymore. You kind of look instinctively over towards your lover Laurel and not lover, sorry, and their bodyguards, and you see one of them has laid eyes on you, and they kind of he turns to Laurel and like.
Do I have enough time to cast a spell if he's the one that saw me, in between him looking back to her and informing her?
I would say
can-
if it's an instant, if it's
If
one
it-
action.
One action? Okay.
Mhm.
I can cast Silent Image at will. So I'd like to just Silent Image another person standing right in front of me, just like casually standing in the bar that Matthias can just duck behind.
Do they?
I would like to
kind of
cast
look
social
like-
anxiety, the spell.
Yes, you may do this. Do they look like you? So maybe like not like you, but like close enough that like so maybe they could have mistaken.
Sure, that would be smarter.
Okay.
Yeah, Matthias creates another like half elf with
Mhm.
a similar haircut, but like a different style,
Mhm.
like different hair color, wearing something similar,
Mhm.
just standing there, just like I was double checking this. Yeah, 15-foot cube. It can move. Okay, I can alter its appearance. So yeah, just like holding a drink and just like casually laughing at a joke from the table next to it that
Mhm.
didn't happen.
Yeah. You see the guard turn back, and you see Laurel like peek around them, and see this figure, and like looks up at their bodyguard, and like you can't hear what she's saying, but she is like, "That's obviously not them."
And then what Matthias will do is alter the image to start slowly walking and just like walk behind them the rest of the way.
All right, I like this. I like this solution. You are definitely able to do that. And get to the door.
It was like 30 feet. What happened?
I lost you.
Half of me is horse.
You moved very silently. I looked away for a second and you were just gone.
Come on.
And two of you exit. What are the other two of you doing?
I'm gonna wait until I notice that they exit, and I'm gonna elbow Nazira and be like, "All right, let's go."
But my drink.
Okay, just finish it then.
Fine. So Nazira is just gonna down it.
Nazira, make another Constitution check because you are still feeling your shots from before.
Oh fuck. Okay. The dice gods are not smiling down upon me.
What'd you roll?
I got a 1.
Oh, God, Nazira's really drunk right now.
Talon, you're gonna have to carry Nazira.
Talon, you've seen this before. She's not a lightweight, but in this moment, like, damn girl,
fucked up.
hold your shit together.
Like, I just need you to not right now, but here you are. So I'm just gonna like, because I'm considerably taller than her, so I'm probably just gonna like scoop her up and be like, okay, I'm gonna take my drunk friend home. Bye guys, nothing to see here.
No one in this bar is, like, surprised by what they're seeing. This is very common. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys make it outside. Elhina, Matthias, what are you guys doing? Did you, like, go down the street a little bit, or?
Yeah, Matthias would have wanted to like at least get away, like out of sight of the entrance of the bar, whether Alhana like went with.
Just
Matthias
looking
is
for the
one
blue
Laurel.
centaur.
Yeah, no, she's not gonna leave him. I think they went like down the street and like down like 2 blocks and around the corner, and she's just like peeking out every now and then, like, okay, I'm sure they'll be here soon.
Yeah, you see Talon walk out of the bar, like, carrying Nazira, who is, like, I don't know, are you, like,
Oh no.
falling asleep, or, like, what kind of drunk is Nazira?
I feel like she's the one that would just like pass out. She's a pet, so she is like dead asleep in Talon's arms, cuddled up into her boobs. Sounds about right for Nazira.
Yes.
You stay here. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I'm serious. Stay here.
Yep, right here.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Your feet, don't move them.
Not gonna move. Right here.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna just like gallop down. What happened?
She wanted to finish her drink. I don't know, man.
Oh, jeez.
And she just promptly drained it and almost dropped.
I throw her up here. There.
Okay.
He's around the corner.
Heave her onto Nazira's back. Or onto Alhana's back.
Matthias, did you stay put?
Yes.
You walk back and Matthias is still standing there.
Everything is fine.
Okay. She didn't see me? Good.
The problem is we're supposed to meet Dabby there.
Well, I can't imagine she'll stay there very long if I'm not there.
Does she know that that's somewhere you were going?
I didn't tell her, but I might have told one of the. I told one of the guards on my way out because they were asking where I was going.
Ah. Okay. Just want to make sure she doesn't have some sort of like tracking spell on you or something.
No, she's just really worried about me because of the kidnapping and the being sold thing.
Yeah.
She told me she'd try to help me because there's this like group that was doing it, the Zanzibar or something like that was after me. I don't really know all this gang stuff.
The Zenthara?
No.
Oh.
The Xanathar.
Oh,
Still.
okay.
Yeah.
Are the Xanathar like stealing people?
Yeah, they like I guess what's the word? Trafficking.
Oh, human trafficking or
Yeah,
people trafficking.
yeah. But
Trafficking.
if you they've all got these like tattoos, these like eye tattoos. So if you see someone with that, just get out of there. I did not know that at the time, but now I know.
And you
Okay,
didn't.
well, you can't go back
Yeah, no.
because they're looking for you. The
Mhm.
2 of you can't go back because of this that is on my back right now.
Well, I mean, like I could probably go back and sit there in
Is
a little
Moxie
bit.
back yet? DM.
Yeah, it was not that far. You can
Yeah.
saunter on back. You had a great conversation with the shopkeep. You had a great time.
I usually do.
Yeah, they gave you a shaved ice as you left.
That's badass. I bought an ink pen and 3 sheets of paper just in case for future reference. So I walk back to the bar and I just go and walk in the front door and I kind of walk around and start looking around.
Yeah, your friends are not there. I think one of you could have seen her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, walking.
Yeah, well,
in.
I'm not drunk and not carrying somebody, and I'm not being looked for. So if I see Moxie going to the bar, I can walk back over there and grab her.
Mhm.
Be like, hey.
Yeah, your friends are gone. And as Moxie, I want to say, as you're walking in, you see this person walking out. It's like the exact same situation. And they kind of like look around, and you hear them say, "If they're not here, I don't know where they are. Perhaps they'll go back to the house. Maybe they're already there. Will you take me back, please?" And the guards like nod, and they start walking down the street.
Do I kind of get like what she's talking about?
Probably not.
Okay.
Unless you can put together that, well, why don't you roll an insight check?
Okay. That's one
Because
of my
I don't
lowest.
think it would be hard to, like, connect the dots here.
I got a 19.
Yeah, you can kind of figure out that this might be Laurel Belladonna.
Okay. See, I just go in the bar and I just start looking around,
Mm-hmm.
digging around.
And then Talon walks in behind you.
I'm like, oh, hey, where's everybody at?
The people and bodyguards are out of earshot. They're out of the door. I can just tell her what happened. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you weren't here. So Nazira and I had to cause a distraction. So that was hilarious. While while Alhena and Matthias escaped because the lady that is in love with him showed up here looking for him. So they're waiting a couple blocks down and around a corner. But I think we have to go talk to them about this. I think you and me, or maybe Nazira's drunk, passed out on Alhena's back right now because she wanted
That
to finish her
checks.
drink and she was still feeling it from this morning. So we might have to just like hang out here and wait for her friend to get back and get rooms. I want to make sure that Laurel and her bodyguards are long gone before we bring Matthias back in, if we're going to get rooms here for the night. If there are rooms here for the night.
So we
I
need
don't know. A
to,
lot's happened.
yeah, so we need to stay here and scope things out for a bit. I just heard them talking as they left. They sounded like they're going back.
Okay, then it might be safe to bring everybody back in, except for sleeping Nazira. I don't think sleepy people are allowed just chill in bars. We might have to like put her in a room.
Yeah, we need to get
until she
rooms
wakes it
anyways,
up.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, I can go grab them and bring them back if you want to talk to the bartender about rooms or where to stay.
Yeah, I'll go to the bartender. I'll handle our rooms
All
and then I'll see you guys in a minute.
All right, I'll be right back. We're the sober ones. Who would think? I'm proud of you, Moxie.
Yeah, Talon, you can
Thanks.
make your way back to the group. What?
Sorry. Moxie's inquiring about rooms for us. I clicked it too many times. So they left. It is now safe for Matthias to go back in. They're long gone.
Good.
Yeah, it's safe now. So
Good.
we can draw up a contract in a room and gestures to Nazira, put her to bed for a little while.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you all.
But if you want to wait a little bit longer before you go back,
I'll stay with you.
Okay.
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 Should I just scoop Nazira off your back then and just put her to bed?
I think she probably needs it.
Okay. I will pull her off of Elena's back. Just throw her over my shoulder. Firemen carry her back into the bar.
Nazira automatically wraps her arms around your waist.
That's a
Aw.
funny image.
She's a smuggler.
Upside down.
Moxie. You walk into the bar and walk up to the counter. The gentleman at the bar will let you know that it is 2 silver a night per room. Comes with dinner. If you break anything, you have to pay for it. If you fall asleep at the bar and have to be removed to your room, you have to pay for it.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
So we need 2 rooms. Is that what we would normally get with 5 of us? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. We'll do 2 rooms.
Okay. They hand you the keys, tell you not to lose them, and you pay and you're good.
Okay, so when I get the keys, I kind of walk out the front door to see if I see anybody coming. And then when I see Talon and Azira, I just kind of wave them over and dangle my little keys in the air.
You see your 5'11" elf friend carrying your 5-foot elf friend with a fireman carry over her shoulder.
Yeah, this isn't too surprising. Well, she can sleep it off while I write up this contract.
Yeah. Matthias and Elhena, what are you guys gonna do for the time being?
It might not help that much, but have you ever done any like card readings or anything like that before?
No.
So I'm not very good at it, but I've done. I kind of I did this for everyone else too. You're a bit quiet when it happened, but if you want, I could try to like read your tarot and see if I can help you out with any questions you might have or finding your brother.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Do you have something that you like to know? I doubt I could just tell you where he is. It's not really how it works, but is there anything that you're worried about?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say, but I just want to know he's okay.
Okay.
Knowing he's still with us is enough.
All right. Here. Takes out a small deck of cards and hands shuffles them a bit, hands them to her to shuffle too, and then holds them out. Says, "All right, take a card."
Like a magic trick.
Kind of.
Picks one.
And you draw the devil.
Good. Great.
It's well defined. It says, well, it's not as bad as it seems. It's not like, it's not like the literal devil, but it kind of probably tells you what you already know. Speaks to being restricted, maybe overly attached to something, focused on something material. if he's running into some bad people or somebody taking him, it could talk more about what they want from the situation. Or that he's confined somewhere. It could be more literal like that. But I mean, he's probably okay, though. But it means we should find him soon. Right?
I hope so. Everyone keeps saying he's okay. It's nice of them to say. And I know they're trying to make me feel better. But I know he's not okay. If he was okay, he'd be out there with me.
Then we just have to do everything we can to make him okay.
Yes. We keep saying things like that, and we keep smiling. Because if everyone around us thinks we're okay, then we're okay.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. I was in, like I said, a pretty similar situation not too long ago, and I was pretty worried too. But if he's anything like you, then, well, he's a lot stronger than I am. So, if I made it out, I think he probably can. And fate brought us together again. So I'm going to do everything I can to help. Because that's why I'm here. To help.
You're a nice person.
Thank you. That means a lot considering what's going on right now, and I'm feeling like not such a nice person for everything that's happening.
You know that's not your fault, right?
Yeah, probably not, but still, feels like it is.
Well, sometimes things feel bad. You're allowed to feel bad sometimes.
Okay. Thank you. It's probably good to go back now, I think.
Probably.
I kind of want another drink. But like a small drink, not a lot more.
I could have a drink.
Okay. Let's go get one then.
You guys make your way back into the bar, and I think that's a good place for us to take our break for the evening. Where our friends are putting Nazira to bed and grabbing another beverage for the evening. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in chat. Thank you for being so active. Thank you to my players for playing this wonderful game with me. Boy, the second half is going to be super fun. I'm excited. But yeah, so everyone out there, make sure to relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, roll out your neck, get a beverage, drink some water. Take your meds if you need to, and we'll be back in 5 to 10. Thanks, guys. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for that redemption, Greg. Welcome back to the stream. We are in Waterdeep at the Yawning Portal. And everyone, Nazira has been put to bed. Alhana and Matthias are grabbing a drink. Talon, Moxie, you guys pop back down. Unless you want to do something with Nazira up in the room.
Just tug her in.
All right.
Aw,
you
no
guys-
snuggle time.
We're waiting for your friend.
All right, you guys walk back downstairs. Alhana and Matthias are sitting at a table, a different table than they were before. They're closer to the actual maw that is in the center of this tavern. You guys can kind of see down into it more now. It is very rocky and crevassy. There are some ropes that are going down into it. But people give it a bit of a berth as they walk around it.
So yeah, we go sit at the table with them, and then I ask, "So Matthias, do you figure out what you want to do yet, or do you want to sleep on it?"
I still want to try being honest about it and just going that. If I can do that, then I think that's the best.
Well, I
way
think
to
I've got
do
some
this.
tricks up my sleeve to try and charm them and make them happy, and in a good way.
Okay.
Just nothing weird. I won't try to read their minds. But I might
mean, you can
suggest something. We'll see.
You can see how they're handling it, like the seriousness of the conversation, and then gauge whether or not you want to be like, I'm just not that into you, or I have to leave with a circus that I've been contractually obligated to do so.
I will
Yeah.
say I'm among others that are with us. I'm very good at reading people. So we could do that without magic and then maybe worst case we can, like read the mind a little bit. But
So you're
Yeah,
saying I'll be cool. I won't be trigger happy unless I have to be.
Yeah, my perception's off the charts.
Mine's pretty good too, actually, but
my
choose not
insight
to
is
use it
actually
sometimes.
incredible.
Same.
Maybe if I
We could
start
read people's
talking
minds.
and things start going bad, or they look like some sort of signal, for me to change gears.
I could have like a hand signal or like a code word.
A code word. If somebody says the code word banana,
Banana.
I will cast suggestion and suggest that they leave Matthias.
Now, what is banana?
Banana is something I read about in a book. I've had one somewhere in the hot climate area. It's a fruit.
Near
It's
Cholt.
got its own jacket. What? Or
Near
cold?
Cholt.
You're Cholt. We'll have to get you one at some point. They're good.
We don't do a lot of fruit in Ravnica. It's very cold.
Oh, fair enough. Well, unless you want a different word, but that's all I can think.
No,
of.
I think it's great. It's
Okay.
fun to say.
And banana, you could say that's bananas. Like that's crazy. That's another thing we say here.
There's so much slang here. I love it.
Yeah. So if you say anything about a banana, I'll
It's like
get
this.
through.
Shows the necklace she has. It just says bitch
Yeah, yeah, just
in
like
huge
that.
gold letters.
Similar, yeah. Kind of, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I did too.
I didn't.
I purposefully didn't put it in the recap so that we could just spring it on you every now and then.
Yes. Like, bitch.
Yeah.
And what does Talon say?
It says boss.
As Alhana is revealing this, Matthias, you hear sort of a crackling in your head, and then a very familiar voice comes across your brainwaves. Darling, where are you? The guard said that you went to the awning portal, but I didn't see you there. I'm ever so worried. please let me know where you are, and or come home very soon. Thank you.
Can I say something out loud before I reply to the sending? Is there a time limit on the reply for sending?
You have to like actively think this thing, so I could.
Mhm.
I mean, you can. It'll be open for like a little bit.
She just sent me a message.
Is she mad?
Do I reply? No,
Leave
she
on red.
seems she seems worried. Is that going to make her worry more though if I don't respond?
It is.
Yeah.
Tell her you are out with some old friends and you will probably be back late.
Okay.
Can't wait
But
to tell her about it.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Yes.
Okay.
Make her feel involved.
Okay. Replies mentally. Oh hey, yeah, I must have missed you there. I'm out with some old friends. So we're gonna be out for a bit, and I might be back kind of late. But I'll tell you all about it when I get back. Okay. I think I got that pretty close.
Very good.
We're low-key so manipulative.
We might be the worst.
You haven't
Those
met her
necklaces
yet.
changed us.
It's just business, baby. You got to do it.
So yeah. Well, when I said be back later then, so what should we do?
Well, we got to wait for Dabby to get back here. She said she'd be back in a couple hours. Is that right?
She didn't
No?
give you a time frame.
Okay.
You told her that you gave Victor 48 hours, and she's like, okay, he's got a 2-hour head start. I need to go.
Oh, okay.
Matthias,
Yeah.
do you want to go back there?
See, most of me is like, no, I don't. But also, like, I think that would be kind of bad for me, just like not show back up, because I think she'd be worried. And she.
Let me ask you a blunt question. Where is the difference between you feel like you should go back and you want to go back?
Well,
Can you
tough.
feel the difference?
Yeah.
Because an obligation is not the same as wanting to do something. And if you're only doing it because you think you should, I know you are afraid that you're going to hurt Laurel's feelings, but Laurel doesn't seem to care about your feelings very much. So maybe you should just focus on yours.
I don't want to go back to stay, but I do want to tell her why I'm not coming back, because like, I don't know,
That's
maybe
the kind thing to do.
Yeah. Well, and also like she might be like a bit aggressive, but she's also been nice to me and like fed me and gave me a place to stay.
Just because someone's nice to you doesn't mean you owe them anything.
I'm also concerned about why she has been nice to you.
Well, I did save her life.
So maybe she feels some obligation too. But two people that feel obligated to each other are not the same as two people who want to spend time together.
Right. So maybe it's all a big misunderstanding.
Sounds like you just have to have a very honest conversation. The question is, do you want to have that conversation tonight when you go back? Or sleep on it there and deal with it tomorrow with a clear head.
I have had a few drinks now,
Mhm.
and
That's my
yeah,
thought.
yeah, should probably wait till tomorrow. Yeah, I tend to talk a lot when I've drank, and so I'm afraid I'm going to say something that might say too much. Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow.
Okay. Well, do you want one of us to go back with you tonight? All of us would be a lot, but one of us you might be able to like get them to also host.
Okay.
A friend who
true.
bring you
A
home
f-
safe.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a friend who brought you who might have had too much to drink but was worried about you getting back by yourself or something. They might put one of us up for the night if they really care about you and all that. And then you wouldn't have to have the awkward conversation because one of us would also be there.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
No,
everybody else could come under the pretense of, I want you to meet my friends in the morning. And then you could have the hard conversation with backup.
that's a really smart plan. You're really smart.
It's my only role in this group.
Yeah, who wants to come back with me then?
We
Well,
gotta
I
think
am
about
sober
this.
and Moxie is sober. Alhena is pretty sober, but also the most conspicuous.
Yeah, this is true.
Nazira's out.
So it's one of
So-
us.
Any of us, yeah, probably you're at. It doesn't matter which.
So are we pretending to be drunk when we go back?
No, one of us is
Okay.
being sober and making sure that he, because he's had a couple of drinks, has gotten back okay.
Was Laurel a human?
From what you can tell, they look human. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could go. I am very conspicuous, but I feel like also the least threatening.
My only worry is that we don't know if they're wrapped up in this your brother situation yet. We have no
Mhm.
idea what ties there are. That's my only worry about sending you. Because we don't know what ties this family might have to any of the factions within this town because we don't really know anything yet. That's my only worry about sending you. You look a lot like your twin brother.
That's fair.
And if they know who took him, I don't know. That would be my only, I'm the cautious one. That's my only worry.
Would I be too conspicuous? Like, or if I just don't try to not charm them, but you know what I mean? I'll be relaxed, a more relaxed version of me and not very threatening.
I mean, you're nicer than I am,
Mm,
but people here are used to seeing all sorts of, yeah, I don't think you being a tiefling is gonna raise any red flags
okay.
in a place like Waterdeep.
Well, you know what?
I have a concern that Moxie might cause some how do you say this? Jealousy?
I think a lot of people, they would probably know who I am or, that I'm part of the circus.
So if he
And I
shows up
mean,
with a
you-
famous person,
But I mean, you also look at her.
yeah.
I'm like, Moxie kind of blushes.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Whenever we decide to go, I'll come home with you.
Okay.
And we'll just, I'll just try to be nice to people.
You're good at it when you want to be.
Is
Yeah.
this our best plan? Absolutely not. But is it a good is it good content? Yes.
And it's a plan, which is what we lack a lot of the time. So
Mhm.
that's good.
Nazira,
Okay.
can you do me a favor and roll a percentile die? I'm sorry, not a percentile. Can you roll me a d20?
It's a 14, baby.
Okie dokie. I'm pulling up your character sheet. This is me stalling. Come on, Okay, D&D Beyond. What your item? Which is it? Evens or odds? That who gets what on evens?
My coin?
Yeah.
Timora is evens, I believe. Let me double check.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, yep. Even is Tamora and odd is Bathsheba.
All right. You wake up in a bed that you've never seen before. You feel fine.
Great.
You could kind of hear the sounds of a bar on the other side of the door.
Okay. Shit, did I go home with someone? No, there's a bar. Did I find a room with someone? Fuck. Should probably go downstairs. I'm still dressed, so that's a plus. So Nazira is gonna go downstairs and see where the hell she's at.
Yeah, you're at the yawning portal still.
Oh,
You're on the second level, sort of looking over the railing. You can
this
spot
is
your friends
convenient.
yeah, you can spot your friends pretty easily because, look at them.
They're there. And Nazira is gonna go down the steps and plop down at the table. What'd I miss?
Talon and Matthias are going back tonight to
Okay.
see Laurel, so Laurel doesn't try to have a conversation with Matthias. And then we're all gonna show up tomorrow, and then they're gonna talk. Hopefully, all goes well. So we'll see.
Is Laurel going to get jealous because Talon's a woman?
Possibly.
I'm all for
mean,
it.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I don't think that would matter too much.
Okay.
Meh, that's all we got at this point. So
Is there food here?
Oh yeah, we get dinner with our rooms. What time of day is it, LB?
It's coming on. It's probably like 7, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Perfect.
Let's get some food.
I want some stew and I want bread and butter.
Well, now I'm hungry. You guys are able to get your dinner, have a few drinks. I think once like 9:30 rolls around, once the sun has really set, Matthias, you hear that crackling in your head again, and you just hear, "Hi, just checking in. It's getting late, so I just wanted to make sure that you're on your way, or if you need the carriage, let me know. I just, making sure."
Oh, I got another message.
Oh no.
Wait, what? A message?
Yeah, like in my head.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. She's just checking in and seeing if I'm coming back soon.
But we can go back whenever you want.
Just tell her you have a ride.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Just finishing up eating. Should be heading back soon after this. I have a ride, so don't worry about the carriage.
Easy. I can take you.
Okay.
All right, what are you guys gonna do?
You seem so stressed.
If we're
Yeah,
just in for the night. Oh, sorry.
just not go to confrontation.
It bothers me that her asking if you are okay and if you need a ride, you read that as confrontation.
I think like like planned or future confrontation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just worried about upsetting her.
It's nice you don't want to hurt her feelings,
Yeah.
but you can't be expected to just pretend to love somebody just because they have feelings for you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I just can't believe this is happening to me again.
Again,
I'm sorry. Hold the phone again.
Yeah, this sort of thing happens. Has happened before.
Care to elaborate?
It just I was at another town and it wasn't as serious as this, and they were nice, and we were at a tavern, and they started talking to me, and then I was staying there for a bit and helping out with their they were having this, I guess, like a sickness going through, so I was healing some people and helping them out, and just kept talking to me, and then they asked if I would stay and talked about getting married and stuff, and then I sort of freaked out and I ran away.
Bean, let me ask you something. Are you afraid of commitment? Because
No.
that sounds like you run away from commitment.
well, I don't know if that's fair. I mean, if Matthias was just there helping to do some healing and then somebody said, "Hey, marry me," I mean, I'd be a little afraid.
I would be
I
afraid
would run
too, but I
too.
wouldn't run.
I would.
Mm.
I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not like worried about that. Like, if I meet somebody that I like, I don't like I it's not like the idea of getting married is like upsetting to me or something. It's just the idea of getting married to somebody that I don't like that way.
That makes sense.
Fair.
Have you ever met somebody you like that way?
Uh yeah. Yeah.
And
I have a bad time kind of knowing what to do about that. So nothing really ever happened.
No, it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not good with confrontation.
Well, I don't think that's a confrontation.
Feels like a confrontation.
is
Well,
it a confrontation with your own true self and emotions?
oh,
Zero.
Damn.
This is not a bar conversation.
Nazira is feeling good and she's feeling like a fucking social worker. Let her be.
Take off the therapist hat.
I think I
it
need
just
another
seems
drink
to me
after
that it just seems to me that people like you, and if you like them back, you should tell them.
Yeah. I think that's been a lot of the problem, is for some reason people start to really like me and I don't really know why.
Well,
Maybe a little too much.
you're very nice and sweet, and you help people.
Yeah. And it's fine until they kidnap me or try to force me to marry them.
It's okay. We're going to remedy one of those situations tonight.
Thank you.
And if we can do anything else to stop the trafficking going on here, I would like to do that too. But, we'll see what happens.
We're not going to kidnap you.
No.
I appreciate that. You all had the opportunity to kidnap me and you didn't, so that's why I trust you.
But you're a very nice person, and I can see why people like you.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
Do you want to have another drink before we go?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be good.
I'll go get you one. I'll go up to the bar and get him another, whatever he's been, or whatever. Yeah, Matthias has been drinking.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Moxie's gonna booze a little bit because we don't really have anywhere to go or anything to do. So
Yeah, the only
Or
thing
she
of
doesn't.
note, there is a bard that starts up. He begins to play the lute. And you guys hear at the like table next to you, um they mention that oh, Davil's here. Awesome. Fucking cool. And they are a very good performer.
did you say dabble?
Davil.
Oh, dabble. Has any of us heard of them?
Um Yeah, you might have. Yeah, Davil's a bard that is very well known in the city. Like, very, like, they kind of remind. Well, were you with Nazira when she ran into her friend? Yeah, yeah. So they kind of remind you. Even the hair color reminds you of Nazira's friend Alri, but half elf. You know, red gold, like red hair, very charismatic, really playing to the crowd. Like as a fellow bard, they're doing a top-notch job.
Cool. I just watch, drink, and actually enjoy being entertained.
I think Matthias does when Talon goes to get a bar. He goes to get the drink and stuff. Does tell Alana, it's like, and for the record, I think you're very nice too.
Oh. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'm staying very sober, by the way.
Zira is done drinking. She is just stuffing her face full of food because she is just a starving, hungry bitch.
So I'll take you and Talon back then.
Okay, that sounds a lot better than walking. I don't want to make you do that though if you don't want to.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I don't
Okay.
mind.
I guess we're going back.
Yep. You guys start the long walk to the northern end of town, where Matthias has been staying at the Belvedere house, estate, one might say. It is enclosed behind a wall. There is a guard at the entrance, and
You said
Yeah.
Belvedere. You Belladonna's?
Belladonna. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh yes, Mr. Belvedere.
Ah, yes, Mr. Belvedere. Yeah, the Belladonna's estate. The guard lets you in, and you walk up to the gates. Elhina, what are you doing?
I don't know. I think drops them off and then stands there awkwardly, not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see you tomorrow. We'll meet up with everyone else.
Yeah,
Sure,
when you
yeah.
guys when you guys get up, just come straight here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go and I'll let everyone else know.
We'll be fine. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay, just if you I mean if you need anything, let me know. It's okay.
Okay. Night.
Good night. Be careful.
You too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just go.
Sorry, I said she's gonna touch her necklace. You too.
Elhannah, you begin to walk back. It took you guys about a half an hour to walk here. Matthias and Talon, you walk up the. It's not a very long drive. It's in the city, so the house is pretty close to the edges of town, or the edges of the wall. But you begin to walk up and enter through the front door. You're greeted, Matthias, by the butler who is attending, half elf who is very kind to you, but also very, short. Doesn't mince words. And as you sort of walk into this grand entrance, Talon and Matthias, you see above, and in a different outfit than before. They were in their, street clothing. They're now in sort of a long dress that is a light blue with a few ruffles on it. It kind of comes up higher in the front, and you can see they're still wearing their boots and some nice looking leggings. And you are greeted by a very kind voice, and she just says, "Hello, darling. Welcome back. Oh, you've brought a friend. How wonderful."
Hi. Hey, Laurel. Oh, thank you, Jimothy.
There's already a Jimothy in this game. That's just
Damn it.
Jim.
Wanted to add another Jimothy.
Nah. Beat you to the punch.
Damn it. Well, gotta go meet that one and kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Laurel. This is Talon. This is one of my friends that was
Darling.
in town.
Wonderful to meet you. And she descends the staircase very gracefully. Like, she doesn't bounce at all. And she kind of, like, gets to the landing and takes you in her arms. Very, like, soft hug, but very friendly. It's so wonderful to meet one of Matthias's friends. He's always telling me about all of the wonderful people he's met over his travels.
Sorry, I was attacked by a cat.
Same hat.
Hi. We've heard so much about you. He had a drink or two at the bar, and I just wanted to make sure he got back safe.
Aw.
It's lovely to meet you, Laurel.
So kind of you. Matthias has the best friends, I believe. You always find such wonderful people.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. They're all really, really nice. They helped me out a lot. When I was in trouble a while back up north.
Oh.
So yeah. But we were out drinking and Talon to make sure I got back safe. I'm really tired. Do you mind? Is there a spare room that she can stay in?
Oh, of course. Yes. Did you need anything before? Well, the staff is gone except for Jim. But I can fix you some tea if you'd like.
No, I'm okay.
Miss Talon?
I would love to have a cup of tea with you if you would indulge me.
Of course, yes.
But Matthias, you're really tired, right? You want to go to bed?
Yeah, I should probably go lay down. So I'll just head up to my
Alright.
room.
Well, your room has
Well,
been
I'll get to know
prepped.
Laurel.
Wonderful.
I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah. Good night.
Night.
She watches you exit and then gives Talon a motion to follow her down the hallway a little bit into the butler's pantry and then into the kitchen, where she motions for you to sit at the counter that's there with the like sort of like at the cutting area where people would prepare food, and she puts a kettle over the fire and lights it. Well, it's so wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for bringing Matthias home. I was worried when I didn't find him.
Oh, we ran into him. and got to talking. And, it's been a while since we've seen him. So
Where
I'm
did you
sorry that
meet?
we, stole him for so long, but you
Oh.
know how it happens, when you
I,
don't see somebody, you need to catch up.
of course, I understand.
Mhm.
Where did you meet?
We met in the woods on our travels. My friends and I, they're all staying back at the Yawning Portal. Um,
Oh,
mhm.
yes, I went there. It was a very interesting place. I've never been before.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I've only come to Waterdeep a few times.
Yes, it's a very wonderful town, as long as you know the right places to avoid.
Mm,
It can get quite
unsavory,
dicey. Yes.
sorts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, how long are you staying in town?
We just have some business to wrap up. One of our friends, Moxie, you'll probably meet her tomorrow. I think Matthias wanted you to meet the rest of our friends.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think you'll meet her. She runs a circus, the one that's outside of town right now, the Majority Circus.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
I've been. Taco
Have you?
was my favorite part.
Yeah.
What
Mm-hmm.
a good little tiger.
Yeah, yeah. So you'll get to meet their ringleader tomorrow, Moxie.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So we've got some business to wrap up, and yeah, I think then we're gonna head out at some point.
Mm. Well, well, I'm glad that you stopped by. I
Oh
appreciate it. Yes.
yeah. Thanks for putting me up for the night. It's a long walk back.
No, I understand. Um, is there anything else I can get to while you're here? We have fruit or dried meats.
No, I'm not hungry. I ate it at the Yawning Portal, which was better than expected.
Oh, good enough to try out. There do seem to be quite the ruckus makers there.
Um, I would not go without being accompanied.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to take your tea here, or would you like me to show your room?
Uh, you can show me to my room. That's fine, unless you wanted somebody to sit up to talk with.
Oh, well, actually, and she starts pouring the tea. Um, you know Matthias well. I'm looking to get him a gift. And I'm wondering I what he would like.
Oh, what are you looking to get him a gift for?
Well, he did save my life, and I want
Mm.
to show him my gratitude and how much I care for him, and just something special. I don't think jewelry would be an appropriate gift, but perhaps something fine and something that he can keep as a keepsake.
Oh, well, that's very sweet of you. How he did mention that he saved your life somehow, which seems to happen a lot.
Yes.
Things like that happen a lot to him. Um, what were the circumstances, if you don't mind me asking?
It was a
Because maybe
dreadful
I could come up
day.
with something, fitting.
Well, I was traveling outside of town, and we were attacked by bandits, and they ravaged the cart and killed my driver and my companion, and left me for dead. And Matthias healed me and found me and helped me back to health.
That sounds like Matthias.
Yes, he's very kind.
That's just what he does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Um, if you don't mind me asking, are you what are your intentions with Matthias? Are you being his friend? I want to make sure that he has a habit of trusting people who do not have the best intentions for him.
Oh goodness, no! I just wish to make sure that he's all right and give him the best life he possibly could have. I mean, this
With you.
well here, well if he
Mm-hmm.
well
So your intentions are romantic.
well, I mean he is very kind and cute and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Now, how long ago was it that he saved your life?
A few weeks.
Mm-hmm. And has nothing like that's ever happened to you before, right?
Oh, of course not.
I'm not trying to be presumptuous, but it seems like, you've led a very, sheltered and taken care of life living here. You haven't gone on very many adventures and nobody's tried to murder you before.
Well, not directly, but my family has come over many threats
Mm-hmm.
for our status, you know.
Yeah, but you know, you haven't been. This is your only life or death situation, right?
Well, there was one time that I fell off of a horse. That
Oh,
was pretty.
well, that's happened to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is the first time someone saved your life.
Directly, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does
Well,
that
I
happen
will warn
often in the
you.
world?
Yeah, for some people in my line of work, yes, that happens often. Um, that's how we met Matthias. We saved his life.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. So I will tell you that sometimes when exciting things like that happen, it creates feelings that might not happen naturally if you were to happen upon this person and not in the same circumstance. So just as a recommendation from somebody who has been in lots of life or death situations, I actually died about a week ago and came back to life.
my goodness.
Yeah. So just know that you shouldn't make any hasty decisions about the rest of your life right after something like that happens.
Right, of course. There is a long
Mhm.
courting process.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
Just
Yeah.
as I know we just met, but as someone who's been in a lot of those situations, don't make
Yes.
any hasty decisions with
Right.
that surge of adrenaline.
Right, of course.
Yes, okay. Just and as far as a gift for Matthias, let me sleep on it.
Yes.
I gave him a book on tarot cards a while back, and he really enjoyed
Yes.
that. So maybe a book about a subject that would be
Right.
useful.
All right. Yes, wonderful.
I'm
I
sure
could
you
do
could find somebody that would curate that, that could find something really nice and rare that would
course.
be a nice keepsake
Mhm.
to remember your time together by and read and learn things.
That is a wonderful idea. Thank you very much, Talon. And she
Mhm.
kind of like places her hand on yours on the table. Would you care for me to show you to your room?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Perfect. And she kind of stands up from the chair and leads you up the staircase down a hallway to the to a room that is larger than any you've ever stayed in. This is one of their guest bedrooms. The sheets, the bed is really fucking comfortable, which is probably really weird for you. But she'll show you the amenities of the room and says, and if you need anything, I am just down the hall, right there. Matthias is right next door.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much for bringing my little chestnut home so kindly.
Mm-hmm. Just
Good
gonna
night.
get in and close the door and just breathe a huge oh, that was hard.
All right. Elena, you are walking back. It's a very long walk.
Can I do
pretty
one
dark.
thing before I leave?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because Alhena is gonna wait for a bit just to make sure everyone seems settled.
The house isn't set on fire?
Yeah, just to just to make sure that like no one sets the house on fire while the people are in it. It's just gonna wait, pulls back a little bit, and knows enough about the people who are gonna sleep in this house tonight to wait until maybe she sees a window lit up by candlelight or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to be reading. So just waits and I think scans the outside, just like trying to make sure that make sure Matthias like makes it to a bedroom and is not like maimed or anything.
Fair. Roll an investigation check?
I thought you were gonna say insight for a second.
Yeah, that was my first thought, but that doesn't make any sense.
But could it be?
No.
Because the difference is very big.
Sorry.
It's fine. Well, I've rolled a natural 20.
Baller.
So
Yeah.
21.
So, the guards that are standing outside of the house, the gate has closed. They are keeping an eye on you, as you are kind of just standing outside of the home that they are guarding. And you are able to see that, after a short period of time, candle lights up, or the lights seem to go on in one of the rooms upstairs shortly after they enter, on one of the outer bedroom, or one of the outer windows. Matthias, do you go just to sleep?
Yeah, I'll say Matthias comes in the room, deep breath, locks the door, maybe opens the window, and then goes to sleep.
All right. And then you see the light go out.
Okay. Alhana is going to from where she is sort of move to the side and try to find just like some plant, just like some like ivy that would be like growing up the side of the house or something, and just like lay both hands on it.
You cannot touch the house. There's a wall around it.
I mean, anything.
I mean, you could touch that. It's like, I mean, you're in a city, and they have to keep it. The road is like right to the edge of this wall, so you can touch the wall, but the house is within the confines of the wall. It's not like up to the edge, so that people can't climb the wall and get into the house.
Okay, I mean, all I'm trying to do is like druid craft a flower or something, like not.
Sure, you can do that on the wall if you'd like.
Okay, she's trying to like druid craft like a little like yellow lily like up near the window that she saw.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think your druidcraft could reach the wall, but you can or it can reach the house, but you can definitely do like put something on top of the wall.
Okay, then like she just wherever she can reach, I guess, where he can see just like druid crafts, like just some little like lily buds that open up.
Absolutely. Cute. And then you're gonna walk back. Okay. Yeah. What is everyone doing back at the house or at the tavern?
Lightly boozing.
Nazira is just people watching.
Yeah. It doesn't take, well, it takes about an hour and a half for Alhina to come back. But the crowd has got a lot rowdier in the area, or in the bar. Yeah. Alhina, you walk in and see your friends sitting at the same table they've been sitting at all night. Go ahead and remove a gold from someone's inventory just to pay for drinks.
I can do that.
All right, what are you guys gonna do?
When I see them in, I'm like, "Hey guys, or hey Alhana, how'd it go?"
Fine, I think.
So nothing exploded or insane happened that you could see.
No, nothing exploded. There was no fire. There was no big drama from what I could tell.
Okay.
Seems like it was fine. I
Well,
trust Talon, so
Yeah, I don't really have any bad feelings about this right now. At the moment. to where I'm comfortable once we're all done. I don't mind just going to bed. Or what time is it now? Probably. Did you say?
It's pretty late.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. I guess it's pretty late for me, which is like 11 o'clock.
Nazira is probably ready to go to back to bed.
Yeah. I've been amused by the bard enough, so I want to go to bed too.
Okay. You guys are able to go up to your rooms and get a good night's sleep. Ahena, just very quickly, you have a dream. And in this dream, you see sort of a clear shore with a sandy, beautiful beach. And you hear a voice that is familiar to you now. And walking from the water is Valrea. And she approaches you. Hello.
Hello.
Did you get my message before? I can't really do bad dreams, so it was very difficult.
Yes, I think so.
Good. I thought it'd be something you'd be interested in. I'm not all-seeing, so I can't give you much of an update, but because of my connection to you, I have somewhat of a connection to your brother. Are you alright?
Well, I'm doing my best.
I know things are very difficult right now for you. I'm sorry, and I'm sure my mission is not helping. But I believe you're on the right path. That helps.
It does. And thank you.
Of course. Is there anything that I can do for you?
I just want to find my brother.
I'll do what I can. I don't believe that he's in harm, or actively being harmed. That I can send him some good dreams. Is there anything that I should show him?
If you could. There's a game we used to play as kids. We had a staff. It was our grandmother's. It was magical and would sort of collapse in on itself and hide. And we would take turns. One of us would hide with it, and the other would look for us until we could sneak up on them and scare them. And it's a very powerful memory. So I think if he had that, he would know I was looking for him.
That's very clever. I can do that. Is there anything else?
I don't think so. I just want him to have something to know that I'm coming for him.
I can do that. I wish I could do more. Show you. But again, being a god, there are lots of boundaries that one can't cross.
I understand.
I'm glad I've chosen you. You're very strong and very kind. Is there anywhere you'd like me to send you tonight? I could hold that memory for you as well.
Just a nice memory. I have a few. There are many nice nights that we had while traveling, sitting around the campfire, telling stories and talking, and
Yes, of
that
course.
is comforting to me.
Make sure you rely on your friends as well. They are a good asset to you, both physically and emotionally. All right. Sleep well. And the scene shifts, and you start to relive some moments of you and your brother by the campfire. And the night passes for everyone. Talon, I assume you don't sleep very well in this bed?
Probably takes her a while to like get used to it. Probably like a lot, usually just instantly like trance and like you're good. She's gonna like try to actually like sleep in this bed, like see what it's like to live at the top, but it takes her forever to get comfortable. And then finally she probably does and has a decent night's sleep,
All right.
albeit maybe a little restless.
Yeah. You wake up. There is a hustle and bustle going on outside your door. I think once you exit, people will tell you where you can go for breakfast and come in and clean your... they'll ask you if you want your clothing cleaned.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, and they let you go on your way. Matthias, you you wake up the same as you have for a couple weeks now. The servant comes in and draws your curtain for you. They leave a hot beverage next to your bed and exit, telling you what the breakfast is for the day.
Okay. Thanks. I'll be down in a bit.
They nod. And if you look out your window, you see the very similar sight that you've seen many, many mornings now. But on top of the wall are some new additions, some beautiful flowers.
Yeah, Matthias smiles looking out at them, feels a little bit more comforted by the sight. And yeah, I think as they get ready, I think they'll duck downstairs, and before dinner, we'll run over and grab one off the wall.
Before breakfast?
At breakfast, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Listen, I haven't eaten dinner, so that's all I'm thinking about.
Fair. Yeah. The rest of you wake up at the I'm not gonna say it's a dive, but it's a very adequate bedding situation. You are able to go downstairs and get breakfast if you'd like. What are you guys gonna do?
Moxie wants breakfast. So I'm like, wakey, wakey, everybody. Breakfast time.
Go away.
Okay. I just go down and get breakfast by myself. That's not very nice, Nazira, but that's fine. I'm used to this.
Nazira feels like shit.
All right, yeah, I go down and just grab breakfast by myself then.
What time do y'all head over?
I like sit and just wait for everybody to wake up and come downstairs. I guess as I'm going downstairs, like, I'll be waiting for you down there. Come down when you're ready. And so I just sit and wait.
Okay. Alhana and Nazira, how long does it take you to go downstairs?
Probably another 10 minutes.
I don't think it takes Alhana that long.
You guys eat your breakfast. The two cut scenes of the breakfasts being had, very stark difference between the two of them. Talon and Matthias at a long table with the family. Talon, you are introduced to the head of the household and the other two siblings. You see this very well-to-do family. There's Taylor, the father, Shella, the mother. There's, of course, Laurel, who you met last night, Conic, and Elevandria.
I'm going to introduce myself to everybody and try to be as polite and not awkward as possible.
Yeah. They're very polite to you as well. Matthias, you are, of course, sat next to, oh my god, go away, please and thank you. You are, of course, sat next to Laurel, as you have been, and she is asking you about your evening and telling you that she is excited to meet your friends.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they're pretty excited to meet you too.
You didn't tell me that they rescued you, saved you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Did I not mention that? Yeah. It was before I. It was. Well, I met the giants like I told you about, and then I left, and it was before I went back the second time. Yeah.
Right. That's wonderful.
Mm.
Very excited to meet them and thank them, of course.
Yeah, they're all very nice. Well, food's good. He just eats to fill the conversation.
Yeah. Awkward
Very
smiles all around.
First in all of the awkwardness that's going on. And since I'm so well read and that's about all I can talk to probably with these people, I'm just going to start talking about random books that I've read on, different subjects that somebody at this table might find interesting.
Right. Conic is very excited about talking to you about books, and the mother, Shella, will engage you in this conversation, talking about some of the more interesting aspects of the city, and she's very into architecture, so some of the history of the house, and offer to lend you a book about the man who built it.
I'll have to see if I can find a book in the Waterdeep Library on the architecture of the city.
I think that is a wonderful idea. It is, well, the older buildings were very well preserved, some of them, especially in this side of town, and the statues, of course, are wonderful as well.
Sounds like it's got a rich history, Waterdeep.
Cool.
Your family's lived here for lots of generations then?
Well, yes, our family has been here for the last 3 generations. Of course, we came across the sea. But it's been a quiet life for us here. Just lots of travel. We do we go to the north quite frequently. And a bit of trade here and there. We have some artifacts that we like to buy and trade in.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
I'm running out of ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know, Matthias. I need you to help me out here. I'm trying
Does
so
she have
hard.
you said that she has like her siblings are there and stuff
Mhm.
too? Are there any like younger ones?
She's the oldest.
Okay, like I mean like children, like
No children. The youngest is probably like 12.
that feels good. That feels close enough. I think Matthias does distract some things, doing a little like minor illusion, silent image, like performance thing. Just feels the awkwardness, wants to fill the space. Does a little bit of
Yeah.
uh, minor magic to entertain.
Yeah. And Laurel is very entertained by this as well. She finds it very charming.
She's like, "Oh, look at this."
The parents leave. I think the youngest, Elevandria, stays for a little bit longer. But I think that Laurel will suggest that you retire to the drawing room and wait for your friends.
Sounds good. Thank you for breakfast. That was wonderful.
Good. Yes, we have a very very good chef, of course, and a whole team. They will be making quiche for tea. So if there's anything specifically that you want that we could call out for, we could do that as well.
No, this is all much more than I'm used to.
Yes, I'm very full. All good. Thank you.
Wonderful. This is the drawing room, and I've let the guards know that your friends are to be brought in as soon as they arrive.
Thank you.
And I think about a half an hour passes before the group arrives at the front gate. Alhena, you are identified and allowed in with Nazira and Moxie and brought up to the front door. Nazira and Moxie, this is a nice house. They have a bit of a garden around. They have the wall is pretty imposing, but they try to make the inside look as nice as possible. And you enter the front door. You are greeted by their butler, and you are led into the drawing room where you are announced. And you see Talon and Matthias, and Laurel is sitting next to Matthias, sort of, I think she's reading a book at this point. She's sort of sitting on her side, with her legs to her side, and is leaning on the arm of the chair towards Matthias. But as soon as you walk in, she closes the book and stands up very excitedly and says, "Oh, wonderful. Hello. I am Laurel, Belladonna's, and I love to welcome you into my home."
Moxie walks up first. Is like, Laurel, so nice to meet you. You have a beautiful home, and you are so beautiful. Thank you for having us.
You're too kind, really. Please, would anyone like a beverage?
I'm okay right now. Thank you, though.
We have tea from Cholt, or we do have they call it chai from the east.
Ooh, I changed my mind. That sounds amazing, actually.
Wonderful. She sort of looks over, and there is a person standing in the doorway. She's, "Will you bring some chai and some tea for everyone, just in case? Do you require any food? A snack, perhaps?"
Nope. We just had breakfast before.
Wonderful. Then please take a seat. Or would you she like turns to Alhina. I have a piano bench that might.
No, I'll stand. It's fine.
Sorry, you don't get many centaurs visiting. I'm not certain what the protocol is.
It's all right. No one seems to.
Well, apologies. is there something that perhaps I could get so if you visit again, we can have a proper thing for you?
Um, it's really all right. We stand most of the time.
All right. Well, please, thank you very much for coming. Wonderful to meet one of Matthias's friends, or all of Matthias's friends, I guess. All of you, not all of Matthias's friends. I'm sure he has many.
Hey, sidebar for DM, everybody, did we decide he was going to talk to her in front of all us, or was he going to pull her off to the side?
We didn't decide. You were just going to give him the contract, and he was going to decide whether or not he wanted to have the conversation with her in front of us, around us, in the next room, whatever, and
Okay.
have the contract in the back pocket, I think was what we decided, right?
Sure, I'll go with that. Thank you.
I don't know.
So as we settle, I'm like, Laurel, have you heard of the Midori Circus before? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I went there just the other week. Talon has told me that you are the, I assume the ringleader of the place.
Yeah, I'm the ringleader and owner and operator of the circus. I've left it in capable hands since I've been gone.
Oh, they did a wonderful
and then Moxie
show.
just kind of talks about this. Oh, thank you so much. Moxie just kind of chats up the circus a little bit about like what it's like to run it and how she met Matthias and Moxie's like, and Matthias actually would be a wonderful addition. I've been talking to him, trying to convince him to come to the circus with me, actually.
Wonderful. Are you staying in town then?
For maybe a couple nights, but I do believe we're moving on, going northbound at some point. But yeah, I actually, and she pulls out the contract, like, Matthias, I want you to look this over and see what you think about it, because we would love to have you.
Thank you, Moxie. Yeah, I'll read it over.
And Moxie isn't. She's acting like she doesn't know that they're actual love interests, kind of. She's just straight business right now, so not trying to make it awkward for them or anything.
Yeah. Wonderful. What would be your act?
Oh, well, I do. I guess we'd have to read over the contract to see what Moxie wrote up, but we had discussed. I do card readings.
Yes.
So maybe that. Also some like illusions and things like that. I'm sure there are lots of things. It's definitely interesting to me. Can we just step out so we can talk about it? And
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone require anything before I leave? No?
We're good, thank you.
We shall be right back. Apologies.
As soon as they leave the room, Moxie's just like, oh, fuck. Like, oh my God.
Now you know, you have no idea what the past like 12 hours have been like for me. I tried to tell her that like you can like the feelings that she might have had for somebody that saved her life like might not be, they might be, you know, like adrenaline induced, not necessarily. It was so awkward. I don't know why I decided to come back with it. This is a terrible idea. I'm so stressed out.
She's so nice though. I love
so
her.
Nice.
Like I would marry her if I were into.
I know. Like I'm so stressed out. I'm so glad you guys are here.
Okay, well, I guess.
Can we listen at the door?
Just wait now.
I want to eavesdrop.
Nazira's already eavesdropping at the door for sure.
Matthias, where are you having this conversation?
Oh, just like right outside.
Okay. Yes, what? I didn't know you wanted to join the circus.
Well, it sort of came up suddenly. I didn't know they were in town, and we were sort of talking it over last night. But I wanted to talk to you about something else first. So you're very nice, and I really appreciate everything that you've done to give me a place to stay and all of that since
Of course.
the since I found you. And
Well, I think we found each other.
right. Uh,
You know, I
not
very
really.
much enjoyed all of the time that you've spent here, Matthias. I couldn't ask for a better companion. I just want you to know that I'm very grateful for what you've done, but also the time you've spent with me so far. It's been very wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so anyway, I'm gonna be traveling with the circus for a bit, so I don't know when I'm gonna be able to come back.
Oh.
So yeah. Yeah. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I really I I like you a lot, Laurel, but not like the same way you like me, I think.
What do you mean?
Like I think we could be great friends, but
Well,
not like
I do think we make good
romantic,
friends.
not like romantically involved.
What do you mean?
Um I just I'm not really interested in you like that.
You're not?
No. I've been trying to say something for a while and I felt really bad. Uh but yeah. I'm really sorry if this is upsetting and I probably should have said something sooner.
I think you should have.
I understand if you want me to go.
Um, sorry, will you excuse me? And she kind of like turns and sort of walks down the hallway very quickly.
Turns back and opens the door. Assume
They're
everybody's lined
standing
up.
there. Yeah.
So,
I can't tell if that went well or not.
Did you tell her the truth?
Yeah.
is she
I'm
going to
proud
get
of
a
you.
sword or a knife or something? Or Did it-
She just excused herself and she seemed pretty upset.
was she mad upset or sad upset?
Seemed sad upset.
I mean, that's not good, but it's the
to be
better of the
expected.
two. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You did the right thing, man. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I feel really bad about it.
It sucks. And I don't get why you're not in love with her because I kind of am. But you just don't feel it. You don't feel it. You can't help that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do I do now?
I would go grab your things if you have anything in the room you've been staying in that you need to grab just while
Mhm.
she's collecting herself because I don't think you're going to be welcome here after breaking up
Yeah,
with her.
no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
go do that.
Yeah. Matthias goes upstairs.
Damn, that was rough.
Yeah, Moxie stands up and just like, ugh, like shakes it out. So uncomfortable.
I think we need alcohol after that because damn.
Sierra, are you okay?
Nazira is secretly an alcoholic. We all know this.
I don't know if it's that much of a secret.
Pretty sure it's obvious.
She runs a brothel. Like, yeah, she's a fucking alcoholic.
Well, I think we
Uh,
just need to be ready for a fast exit.
Yeah, hopefully not scary fast, just
Yeah.
pulling fast.
So uncomfortable.
So, Bean,
Also,
I
this
guess you're
place is
staying with us.
insane. Like the bed was the most comfortable thing I've ever been on in my life, and I couldn't sleep last night.
Like, what did it feel like?
Like I was sleeping on a cloud.
Oh,
Maybe I
would it
should
be
try
bad
and
to
date
just
her.
like sneak up there for like just a little bit? I promise I won't touch anything.
Just
Except
stay
the bed.
here.
Fine. Do you think they'd miss that vase?
Yes.
Put your hands in your pockets.
You can't steal anything from here.
No,
They're too
she's too nice.
powerful.
And they're too nice. I met the whole family this morning over breakfast. It's like all the nicest people.
But it's shiny.
I know. There's lots of shiny things that you can steal. Not here though.
All right.
So when's Bean coming back?
I want to go.
Matthias, you are up in your room packing.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have a lot of stuff, I don't
Yeah.
think, but yeah.
Yeah. I think as you are exiting your room, you are met with a more composed Laurel. You
I'm not trying to like run away or anything. I just sort of assumed that I probably shouldn't stay here after saying that.
no, you're more than welcome to stay. I mean, you still saved my life, and I do owe you a debt in that regard.
No, you really don't. Like it's fine. Just doing what I do.
I'm sorry if I misstepped or read the situation incorrectly. Was perhaps I did just get caught up in things.
It happens to me all the time.
As I said, you're more than welcome to stay. Don't know if I'm quite up to host at the moment. Your friends are welcome to stay as well. For tea.
I'll talk to them about it, but I think they've got some important stuff to take care of, so maybe I'll go help them with that for a bit and see if I can help with anything there, and maybe I'll drop by later to say hi and we can talk more if you want.
I would like that very much.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Give them all my regards, and that it was very kind, very nice to meet them.
Definitely. I'll do that.
Kind of gives you a half-hearted smile and makes her way to her room.
Stands there awkwardly for a second and then very quickly walks down the hall back to the stairs to the others.
Mm-hmm. Matthias returns.
All right, we leaving now, or what's going on?
Let's go.
Yeah, she said you're welcome to stay, that everybody was welcome to stay, but I thought it'd be best if we kind of left for now.
She's so nice.
Yeah, let's
She is.
go.
She is very nice. Yeah, we should go.
Do you think she's into tieflings? No, I don't know. I got someone waiting for me. We gotta go. Yeah. And I assume we all caravan out.
Yeah, you all exit the estate, and make your way back onto the streets of Waterdeep. Matthias, what is your plan?
I think just when they get back on the streets, kind of stops them for a bit and says, so I'll probably be around a little bit. I think I'm gonna go kind of clear my head a little bit after all this. But I'll look around and talk to people, see what I find out about your brother Elhena. And I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Hey, and if you do want to actually join the circus, we'll find room for you. Just let me know.
I'll think about that.
Yeah,
That sounds fun.
it is.
But I'm sure
Right.
I'll stumble across y'all again if in the future. But I know where to find you right now in case I learn anything about where your brother's at.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you go take a breather. I think you deserve some alone time finally.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you for telling her the truth.
Thank you. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, he reaches in the bag, pulls something out, and says, "Hannah, I saw this and I thought about you and your brother, and so I got it for you. Hopefully, it's a good luck." And hands her one of the flower he took off the wall.
Oh, yes, thank you. That's very nice.
Hey, hoists his bag over. Well, I'll see y'all around then.
Bye.
Guys, I'll give a gentle wave to Matthias as he starts walking down the street. And I think that's a good spot for us to end for the night. One of our longer sessions, but oh boy, so packed. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. And thank you so much for my cast for being here and doing my dating simulator. I really appreciate it. Let's go around and have everyone tell the people where they can find you, what you do, starting with the ever so caring and kind Savannah.
That's me. Hello. I'm Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the internets, mostly on Twitter, where you can find my streaming schedule pinned to the top of my page. Most days, especially Thursdays through Sunday, I am on my home channel, twitch.tv/game nights. It's game with 2 G's and nights with a K, streaming all manner of tabletop games. We play all kinds of stuff over there. So come hang out with us there. And then Sunday nights, I am here. That's where I exist.
Yeah. Well, on the internet.
It's where I exist.
Sorry. That's right. When we log off, she doesn't actually live here. She's just
I'm not
part of
real.
the internet. No, she's just an AI that we created.
It's a program.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you very much for hanging out and creating a wonderful game for the evening. Next up is our wonderful guest, the alluring and the sweetest of beans, Val.
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me on again. I'm Val, the Kraken's Crown on Twitter and Twitch. Like Savannah, you can find me over on GGK. I run games there on Fridays and Saturdays. 2 different games on Saturdays, so come check us out. Next game I'll be running will be on Friday. It's Neon Souls. Play a cyberpunk game, playing in a cipher system. So it's a lot of fun, and they just got betrayed by one of their closest allies over the course of this whole season. So it's gonna get pretty wild. So that's me.
Lovers. And next up is the enchanting and very friendly Tanya.
Oh, hey. You can find me at Tanya Rowland or my weird podcast, Spider Facts with Billy, where I pretend to be an 8-year-old boy. Or if you're in the Kalamazoo area on August 28th, I signed up for a karaoke competition. And the theme is songs you lost your virginity to. And although I don't know that song, I have chosen a song. And if you go, you can find out. I can't sing, but I will make up for it in mediocre dance moves. And that's all I got. Good night, guys.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Next up is the bold and confident Rachel.
How do I follow up promises of karaoke and mediocre dance moves? I mean, you can find me here on Twitch at Rachel Elizabeth or on Twitter, Instagram at Rachel Elizabeth with the Z in the middle instead of S. On Twitch, I stream things like Dead by Daylight and Skyrim, where you can catch me playing this character, Talon, and making all the decisions in the Skyrim world as her for fun. We join the Dark Brotherhood. We're gonna go murder people. For the Raven Queen, we're giving her souls. Or for the Blood Queen. Sorry, for the Blood Queen. We're giving her souls. And yeah, that's it. And I'm here on Sundays.
Yeah. Thanks for being around, and just the awkwardness was just beautiful. Thank you very much for that. Next up is the fantastic and gorgeous Kelly.
Aw, you're so sweet and full of lies. Just kidding. I love you for it. Anyways, my name is Kelly. You can find me on, Instagram at Kel_behind the chair if you want to follow me behind my cosmetology startup career thing. You can also follow me on the TikTok at Shorty Kel. Don't be creepy. I will block you. I have no problem with that. But yeah, I'm only here on Sundays because I am too damn busy during the rest of the week.
Wonderful. Thank you very much again to all of my players for dealing with the awkwardness and the breakup witnessing. So amazing. It went so well. I'm LV Hackup. You can find me here Tuesdays. We're playing Alien Isolation this week. Thursdays, they are doing Themeless Thursdays. On Friday, Lauren and I are probably going to start a new game because it was generously donated to us. And back here, or on Saturday, we have our Monster of the Week stream that is going on for the next couple weeks. I'm so excited about it. The cast is amazing. They're doing some really cool and funny stuff. And then we'll be back here next Sunday with another guest. Someone that most of you have never met before, but some of you know. But yeah, stick around. We're going to raid Indoors channel because they are doing some Rhyme with the Frost Maiden, and they're definitely not on break right now, which is usually what happens when we go. But I'm so glad that you all hung out with us, and it's so good to see you. I guess until next time, I'm LB Hack 'em Up. Hack recklessly. Bye!